go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit you throwing, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit you sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big scam, and he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just
We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel, get a bird's eye view.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown LA at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and our home team. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, 180. 49's the mic. Here we go, D. Here I come. Check. Check nine. You go tight.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch safety quick. Hey, alert. Safety quick.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
180. 44's the mic. Regular. We want it. Come to my world. Check.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it past the 20, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. Chubb on first down, not going to go anywhere as he'll lose 3 on that one. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Mayfield throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
No. Off. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Hurry. Check the backer. Slam.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield is going to go for a big play downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
Hey, me and you all day. I'm coming after you.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Yeah, it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Let's go.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Alert, 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 alert. Pistol, pistol, pistol. Hey, Haywood.
A run for Nick Chubb. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, alert 33. Shift, shift. Check, 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 check. Run, run, run.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Let's go.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Mike, 180. Come on, D. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Check 52.
They'll run on 1st down. Vernon. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Regular. Here we go. Kill.
To throw, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how did they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Allen. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's pulled in at the 32. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Mike, 49. I got him.
Mayfield. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Shoot. He's coming.
Mayfield down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Fighting ahead at the 15. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Mike 55. Hey, eat. I got you.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Hey, alert 3.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Hey, check my Eddie. Watching you 5. Here I come. Shit.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Allen toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here I come. Here I come.
They run, Chubb, and the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey,
On third down, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
I got you. I got you. Check three, check three, check three. Check 43. What's that?
On first down, Vernon. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Back.
Throwing on second down, Mayfield looking for his running back, and he's got him.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to Slayton. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Pick the edge. Go. 53's the mic. 53.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Watch the edge. Check 31.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. They'll come out in the pistol. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run with Chubb. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They come out here in the eye.
Run. Kill. Point it right. Big edge.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
From the gun, Mayfield to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
Check hot route. Hot. Under deep.
They'll run for it. Chubb. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Easy work, and it's coming again.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. And his kick is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Charger drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. That throw into the arms of Allen. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Give them 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Check. Come here. see what you got. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On second down, Vernon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
180. It's our time. It's our time. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears. Hey.
Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Charger drive about to get going. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Get that quarterback D-line.
On second down, Eckler. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Who that?
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler as a rookie, there to bat that one away.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go, D.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
53, check 53. Hey, I'm coming after you.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And he finds McLaurin. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
53-19. 53 is the mic. Not today, you are. Not today.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Watch the screen.
Allen now looks to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here we go.
Allen to throw once more. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, 2nd half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check 26, check 26. Switch.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Hey, on 133. Let's set a tone. Deuce. Hatch it.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm on.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
Showing it.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Good. 180.
Mike, 49.
Run. These babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way. I got you.
Following the penalty, Chubb.
No. Out.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Check. On the ball. Check your hot read. Bang. Hey, alert.
First down, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch twist. Joker.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Allen. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Hey, watch the slant.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They run it with Carson. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I can't believe they even let you play.
And now they'll throw with Allen. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
That's round 80. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Tackles.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And that'll bring him back within a point. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Point it right. Switch. Check.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I know you feel that.
Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Check 9. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. I got you.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield. Got a man, Slayton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Alert, 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 alert. Say. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Foco's the mic.
They run it again with Chubb. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Fresno.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Regular. No. Off. Four the mic.
On second down now, Vernon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Run. Switch. Jam. Rush in.
They'll try again with Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is Do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Shoot!
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. The gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Check 52.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. 87's me. 87's me. Real. 49. 49's the Mike. 49's the Mike. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Mike's 49.
Chubb.
Hey.
On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, alert. Check. Lucky. Check 37. Check. Run. Kill. Real. Hey, turn it up. Check 24. Check 24.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Now a whistle and a timeout defensively, trying to stop it, and they do with 2 seconds to go prior to the 2-minute warning. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
180. 49. All right. Here we go. Let's go, V. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wind to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. But things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
You ain't going nowhere.
To throw is Allen. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Cleveland, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.